What if I told you that today, someone you trust is going to lie to you? Not someday, not maybe, today. And the worst part? You probably won't even notice it. Not because you're naive, not because you're stupid, but because the most dangerous lies don't feel like lies. They feel normal. They sound casual. They hide inside ordinary conversations. And that's exactly why they work. On average, you're being lied to hundreds of times every single day. Small lies, polite lies, strategic lies, and most of them go completely unnoticed. So let me ask you something uncomfortable. How many conversations have you had recently that weren't even real? How many truths you believe right now are just well-built stories? Pause for a second, because this is where everything changes. If this already makes you think differently, stay with me. Most people won't. What if you could flip this completely? What if instead of being the one who gets fooled, you became the one who sees through everything? Before people even finish speaking, before they even realize they slipped. Like a human lie detector. And here's what nobody tells you about lying. It's not about bad people. Your friend might lie. Your family might lie. People at work might lie. Lying isn't rare. It's normal. And if you don't know how to spot it, you're reacting to a version of reality that isn't even real. But here's the advantage. There are patterns, very specific patterns. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. Let's start simple. Most people ask questions in the weakest way possible. Were you there? Did you do it? Did you go out? These questions are easy. Too easy. They give the other person time to think, time to adjust, time to lie. But people who understand behavior don't ask like that. They assume. Instead of asking, "Did you go out last night?" They say, "What kept you out so late last night?" Now the brain reacts, not prepares. And that changes everything. Because lies don't break when they're told. They break when they're built. And that moment is small, but visible. This is where the next technique comes in. The 5-second window. When you ask something, don't rush. Watch for 5 seconds. Because in those first moments, the brain hasn't finished the lie yet. That's where the truth leaks out. A pause, eyes shifting, a small change in voice, something subtle. One signal means nothing, but several? That's pressure. And pressure reveals truth. But here's the mistake most people make. They look for weird behavior without knowing what normal looks like. That's why baseline matters. How does this person usually speak? How do they look at you? How do they move? Because nobody looks like a liar by default. They only look different compared to themselves. And when something suddenly shifts, that's your signal. Now here's something even more powerful. Ask the same thing twice, but differently. First, you were out yesterday, right? Later, what did you do yesterday evening? Truth stays stable, but lies need memory, and memory of something fake is fragile. People forget details. They change small things. They contradict themselves, and that's when it starts to show. Now listen carefully. One of the biggest signs of lying is language. Pay attention to weak words. Maybe, I think, probably, I guess. These aren't random. They're escape routes. Someone telling the truth is usually direct, clear, but someone lying leaves space, just in case. Now watch this. The moment you get close to something real, they change the topic. Suddenly something else comes up. A joke, a distraction. That's not random. That's avoidance. And if you bring them back, you'll feel the tension. Because now they're under pressure again. And here's one more. Interrupt them. Mid-story. Ask about something slightly earlier. Wait, what happened before that? Now the brain struggles. Because the story was already built forward, and now it has to adjust. Fast. Most people can't. They pause. They stumble. They shift. Because lying needs control, and interruption breaks it. And finally, one of the smartest things you can do, add a fake detail. Casually. You said it was raining, right? Even if they never said that. Someone telling the truth will correct you. But someone lying will often agree, because they're protecting the story, not the truth. And that's where everything becomes clear. So now you have something most people don't. Awareness and patterns. But remember this. No single sign proves a lie. But patterns don't lie. So next time something feels off, don't ignore it. Watch closer. Listen deeper. Because once you start seeing the truth, you can't unsee it. And that changes everything. If this changed the way you see people, you already know what to do. And before you go, what's one moment where you felt someone was lying, but couldn't prove it?